Hi there. Many others like you have asked, why are Jesus' genealogies in Matthew and Luke so different? You have the question, the Bible has the answer, and we can help you with it. The following is a visual presentation of the full article from our website. Visit the link below to learn even more. Jesus' genealogy is given in two places in Scripture, Matthew 1 and Luke 3:23 through 38. Matthew traces the genealogy from Jesus to Abraham. Luke traces the genealogy from Jesus to Adam. However, there is good reason to believe that Matthew and Luke are in fact tracing entirely different genealogies. For example, Matthew gives Joseph's father as Jacob, while Luke gives Joseph's father as Eli. Matthew traces the line through David's son Solomon, while Luke traces the line through David's son Nathan. In fact, between David and Jesus, these are the only names the genealogies have in common. Some point to these differences as evidence of errors in the Bible. However, the Jews were meticulous record keepers, especially in regard to genealogies. It is inconceivable that Matthew and Luke could build two entirely contradictory genealogies of the same lineage. Again, from David through Jesus, the genealogies are completely different. Even the reference to Shealtiel and Zerubbabel likely refer to different individuals of the same names. Matthew gives Shealtiel's father as Jeconiah, while Luke gives Shealtiel's father as Neri. It would be normal for a man named Shealtiel to name his son Zerubbabel in light of the famous individuals of those names. See the books of Ezra and Nehemiah. One explanation, held by the church historian Eusebius, is that Matthew is tracing the primary or biological lineage, while Luke is taking into account an occurrence of levirate marriage. If a man died without having any sons, it was tradition for the man's brother to marry the widow and have a son who would carry on the deceased man's name. According to Eusebius's theory, Melchi and Matan were married at different times to the same woman. Tradition names her Esther. This would make Eli and Jacob half-brothers. Eli then died without a son, so his half-brother Jacob married Eli's widow, who gave birth to Joseph. This would make Joseph the son of Eli legally and the son of Jacob biologically. Thus, Matthew and Luke are both recording the same genealogy, Joseph's, but Luke follows the legal lineage while Matthew follows the biological. Most conservative Bible scholars today take a different view, namely that Luke is recording Mary's genealogy and Matthew is recording Joseph's. Matthew is following the line of Joseph, Jesus' legal father, through David's son Solomon, while Luke is following the line of Mary, Jesus' blood relative, through David's son Nathan. Since there is no specific Koine Greek word for son-in-law, Joseph was called the son of Eli by marriage to Mary, Eli's daughter. Through either Mary's or Joseph's line, Jesus is a descendant of David and therefore eligible to be the Messiah. Tracing a genealogy through the mother's side is unusual, but so was the virgin birth. Luke's explanation is that Jesus was the son of Joseph, so it was thought. Alright, that answers your question. Why are Jesus' genealogies in Matthew and Luke so different? Thanks for watching. The link to this full article is in the description below. If you prefer to stay on YouTube, here's a recent upload and a curated option to choose from as well. Now don't be afraid to keep asking important questions like this.